Hi, do you have a savior personality, or do you feel constantly the need to help others or anticipate their needs? Or do you have a hard time letting go of what you think a person might think or might want or might need? Does it sound like you? Don't worry, you're not alone. So that's why in this video, I'm gonna tackle the 10 red flags to identify codependency in a relationship and how hypnosis can help you. My name is Chantal Paul. I'm an hypnotherapist and I do videos to demystify what hypnosis is and how it can help you. I post those videos on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. So don't forget to subscribe so you're gonna be notified when I post those videos. So without further ado, first thing that's important is to know yourself. Knowing yourself is key for a wellness approach. And do you recognize yourself as being a codependent person or a savior, rescuer personality? For example, I'm going to give you 2 examples. There's more in the blog. You have to know first that codependency, you might find that in different settings, meaning that it could be in, relationship with, your spouse or your partner, or it could be at work, could be with your kids. So that tendency, you might see that in different settings. For example, when your child comes to you and needs to do something, for example, or wants to do something, and the parent says, no, I'm going to do it for you. Perhaps, there might be a good reason, for that, but we have to look into that kind of behavior being that it's too often that you do that. As a parent, you need to let your child do what, he's responsible to do, or he needs to do to become more autonomous. But you have to have a certain balance. That's what I mean. To see or to feel that you have that savior, type of personality, it's because you do it often. For example, also, if you're in a plane and they tell you to put a mask if there's an emergency and you have your kid just beside you. We all know that normally the parent or the adult is supposed to put the mask first and then puts it on the child. And we can hear often a savior would do, the child first and then himself or, themselves. So you can see where you might find that it's a red flag there. Another situation that we see codependency is a lot of times in dysfunctional, couples or, relationship. For example, your spouse or your partner is, wants to stop drinking, something like that. He wants to start doing this process by, himself or herself. But the codependent wants to make sure everything goes well. I know it comes from the heart, it comes from a good place. But the person who wants to be responsible, doing its own things to become better, has to do certain steps for herself or himself. So the codependent has to take a step back. But normally the codependent, can help herself or himself to go and help the victim or the other person. What happens is if it goes on like that, the codependent will will try to anticipate the need of the other person, and the other person, instead of, taking, let's say he doesn't take, his responsibility, start, depending on the other one. And it becomes a spiral of 2 codependent, because knowing that the codependent, the first person, the savior, will do it, So it becomes that, both are waiting after the other to codependent on each other. And we don't want that, because mainly we have to take responsibility of our actions. And the codependent feels that they're on a mission. They feel that they need to help others to feel good. They need to help others to, to feel that they have a purpose in life. And it's like if they feel that it's their duty, their responsibility, and their devotion and compassion is their motto. Being a savior, you have to take into account that for the others, the surrounding people, how they feel. They feel suffocated because they feel that you're always jumping in and helping them without them thinking that they might need something. And they might feel, that you messing in their business because they didn't ask anything. You're there already anticipating that they might need that or this. And they feel less autonomous, or they might become less autonomous or not empowered. It's important to take that into account. I know as a savior, you don't see that, but that's why we're doing this, knowing that you have to take into account to put yourself in the other person's shoes, that what's best for them. It's not necessarily what you think, but what they tell you they might need also. And what's important also to remember as a savior, that your purpose, it's not only to please others, it's also to know what's important for you, what's your needs. To take care of yourself, to be able to take care of the others, you need to be grounded, to know what are your needs, what are you neglecting also by doing that, always going forward to save the world. And as you might understood from what I told you, from all these examples, if there's a victim, there's a savior. A person who has that tendency will probably be in the lookout to find a victim, to make sure that, they're gonna be a savior, they're gonna feel good. But we want to take a step back, and that's why there's some strategies to kind of know what are the way that you as a savior, what are your behaviors? Given that, what I just told you, to have something that you need to look at, the strategies as a savior, you need to stop, to step back, to wait. I know it's going to be a challenge at the beginning, but try to do it as often as you can, because eventually you're going to start thinking and focusing on and observing that probably, the person is not asking anything. So you need to wait if they asked you something. Or you might ask yourself by, taking a step back, do you need to intervene in that situation? Or perhaps you might acknowledge that you don't have the abilities to help that person in need. So sometimes just to take a few minutes to stop, instead of going forward to do what you usually do and help the person, thinking that you're helping them. So there's more in the blog. Do not hesitate. There's the link below. And I might tackle now how hypnosis can help you. Knowing that, thinking that helping others all the time or anticipating their needs, it might be a limiting thought, or it might be a belief that you have that to make yourself happy or to make others happy, that it's a belief that you think that you need that in your life to be happy. So we want to change that, because if we want to focus on you, what's good for you, So we might implement those new positive thoughts or new behaviors or belief that you have and you don't want anymore, but you need to have the new ones that you want to put in place. You want to integrate them, those changes. You want to probably also manage your emotions. That's important. Don't forget, if you want to have changes, it depends on the intensity of your desire to do those changes and your involvement. So, in conclusion, what I want you to remember is know yourself. Take some time out, meaning step back. Check if you really need to intervene and apply the strategies that you're going to find that are the 10 red flags, and also that it's going to help you kind of know yourself better. And also don't remember, if you need help, there's professionals that you can go and see to reflect, to find out how you can, be a better person for yourself and love yourself better. And hypnosis will anchor those new changes and really what you want. Thank you for being here and listening to this video. Hope to see you next time. Bye.